Monday morning. It's a wet day in South Wales, but regardless of wet weather, we'll crack on. It won't stop us. There's always things you can do by turning up. That's the one thing. And when you turn up and clients see that you're there, they're impressed, even with bad weather, you know, and they're over the moon with that. And it shows that you're conscientious. Are you, any of you, conscientious? If you are, turn up. Most important things is that when you're shifting soil around in wet conditions like this, is that you don't turn the soil to mud, because what's going to happen, you ain't going to be able to use that mud for weeks and weeks and weeks. When the water gets into it and it turns to mud, it's just going to go on. You need to keep it light and fluffy, and the best thing you can do, to be honest, is keep off it. We've leveled this area off. I'm not even going to track over there, not going to go anywhere near it. It's raked out nicely for the lawn. So important with soil, take heed, keep off it. I've had this digger probably about 15 years now, and it was in brilliant condition when I had it, of course, but it's still for its age, it's still in good condition. And the reason it's in good condition, I've got to change the pins, granted, but I look after the tracks and I make sure that it gets washed out. So the last thing you want is all this coming back to your yard. Unfortunately, I haven't got the pressure washer here. I have to use a hose. Well, we can't seem to get anything done today. The weather has been a bit of a pain, but we are progressing. We've done the Shosugi band fence, we've cleaned that off, and we've moved stuff around, which we have to. We're creating space, and we're having a constant change in the garden, and that's so important, because when the client comes back at night time, they want to see change, and they want to see progress. So we've got a few cuts to do today. Bit of a problem because we use an electric cutter. We've got to grab the opportunity to sort of do the cuts when it's like this. You've got to be very careful, consider health and safety, and then you're just about to get started and go again, and then your next client wants to come and see what you've done on here. But the good thing about it, they're over the moon what we've done here, so they're just going out, and I don't know, they loved it, and over the moon with it, and they're looking forward now to getting their garden done. So let's get on. Well, it's a wet day to say the least, but that's what we do, and it's as simple as that. And I think it's those wet days over the years that has put me in the position where I am now today. And I remember I was just thinking now, and I was just talking to the client, and we were talking about what sort of trucks and cars I've had over the years, and we were talking about kids and children and what have you, and pushchairs. And I remember cracking on a job many years ago. It was like the wettest June that we ever had. It was awful, and we had I remember having worked through on this job. It was wet day in, day out, right, totally soaking wet, and I've got a client laughing at me now, and I got on with it. I cracked on, and I remember the vehicle I had at the time was a Morris Natal 440 van, okay, and this van only had second and fourth and reverse, and the only way I could get into reverse was turning the engine off, getting out, lifting the bonnet, putting in reverse, and then starting the car with the clutch down, and that was the way, because the synchro mesh had gone, so I couldn't select reverse at any time. But that van had cost me about £350, £400, and I remember that week working hard and earning some money, and the kids needed a new pushchair, and over the years we had many pushchairs, and I suddenly thought how many pushchairs that we had and how much it equated to, and I think it worked out like about £1,600. This is years ago, and you could have bought a really good tidy truck or a van at the time for that sort of money. And I was really not happy about this, and I remember going into Mothercare to buy this new pushchair, and I'm driving around in this old truck, and the kids' pushchairs have added up more in value than what the van I had was keeping the roof over our head. And I remember talking to the manageress, I asked to speak to her, and I suggested that she should give me a discount, because of the loyalty I had shown her over the years through Mothercare, and she gave me 70% I think, or 60% discount, a huge discount she actually gave me. So I don't know what the moral of the story is, like, but when you're working in weather conditions like this and you're cracking on, you know, this is when it counts, and that's what the daily grind is all about. Woo! Just been watching people's posts on Landscape Survival with Johnyboy. And all of them saying how nice it is to be out of the rain and the mud. I'm not. I'm in the van, and I'm absolutely soaking. I'm always in the mud, always in the quagmire. Oh, Alison's just sent me a little kiss. But we're having some food. It's nearly 2 o'clock, and we're still cracking on, because that's what it's all about. We are, without doubt, survivors. Well, we've really pushed on today, and I've got a dry top on now. I've taken all my wet stuff off, and it's been tough, but that's what it's about. And the fact is that you need to ask yourself this, that how many people could do the job that we're doing? You know, we have to deal with clients, we have to do drawings, we have to go and see customers and talk about their requirements and what they're after. We have to be administrators, we have to be counsellors for our colleagues. And I really doubt the amount of people can actually do what we're doing, and to work in this sort of weather and do all those jobs and all those disciplines, you have to be a bit special. Well, we're back, soaking wet, and we've done a little job right now, so just done a bit of pruning, and it's been a hell of a day, but we get through it, and we do it, you know, and we have to do it because we're trying to earn a living. But there's nothing worse when you come back, and most of my time is basically dealing with people, and when you're dealing with those people, you need to keep things precise and short, because what will happen is they'll keep talking to you, and if you come across half a dozen of those in a day, your time soon adds up, and you'll lose time in work. So what you need to do, it's all about time management, and when you're talking to people, keep it short. Don't keep gassing on, and just move on a bit quickly, because you will lose time, and it will add up over the over the course of a month, and you will lose time without a doubt, and you'll be surprised how much time you actually lose. So